Hello dear investors. Analytical service in touch GURU.Markets. Thank you very much for paying attention to us. Dear viewer, I kindly ask you to give this video a royal thumbs up in advance. Your like is very important for the development of the project GURU.Markets. We will compare the current performance of the company with Wells Fargo and Company, ticker WFC. This review was made using current data as of June 1, 2024. By classification GURU.Markets Corporation Wells Fargo and Company belongs to the subcategory Bank Holding. 89 companies participate in the analysis, which is very representative. We start with summary information about the company. A little further we will consider each indicator in more detail. If necessary, you can pause the video. We invite you to study each parameter of the company under study more carefully. Access to the table with the classification of tickers is absolutely free and open. Please share the company's analysis on your social networks. Market capitalization of the company Wells Fargo and Company, WFC, is $208.9 billion. With a subcategory capitalization of $2,543 billion. Wells Fargo and Company, WFC, accounts for a share of 8.215%. It is one of the medium-sized companies in the subcategory. The company's balance sheet capitalization is estimated at $166.62 billion. And the balance sheet capitalization of the subcategory is $2,142 billion. Wells Fargo and Company constitutes a share of 7.778%. Comparing the occupied shares of market and balance sheet capitalization, we see the following. Occupied share Wells Fargo and Company, WFC, in the subcategory when assessing market capitalization is 8.215%. The balance sheet capitalization is 7.778%. This is 5% less than the share of market value. Assessment of the organization's share of the market and book value of the subcategory. Bad, -1 point. The company's debts amount to $276.597 billion. Financial liabilities to book capitalization amount to 166% of capital. Result on the company's debt level. Bad, -1 point. The company's market price to earnings ratio is 12.5. While the average for the subcategory is 10, which is 20% higher than the average for the subcategory. An assessment of the company's stock price to its earnings in comparison with the subcategory. Tolerable, 0 points. Profits for the last 12 months amounted to $17,582 million. Projected earnings for the next 12 months are expected to be $19,847 million. Which is 12.9% more than now. Assessment of expected future profit indicators in comparison within the subcategory. Good, 0.5 points. The company's value to revenue ratio is 1.7. The subcategory average of 1.3 is 31% higher than the subcategory average. Assessment of market value to revenue indicators in comparison with indicators of subcategory companies. Tolerable, -0.5 points. Revenue for the last 12 months was $120,140 million. Projected revenue for the next 12 months is expected to be $135,610 million. And this is 13% more than now. Assess projected future sales performance against subcategory performance. Good, 0.5 points. The sales margin is 14.6%, with an average for the subcategory of 13.3%. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 1.3%. Assessment of sales profitability in comparison with indicators in the subcategory. Good, 0.5 points. The company's share in terms of the number of employees in the subcategory is 9.179%. This is a 12% increase in market capitalization share. And this fact reflects the imbalance in the company's exchange value Wells Fargo and Company, most likely towards underestimation. The amount of market capital for each employee of the company is $924,000. Whereas for the subcategory $1,033,000. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 10.6%. Estimation of the amount of market capital per employee in comparison with indicators in the subcategory. Good, 0.5 points. The amount of profit per individual employee is $77,800. With the average for the subcategory, $102,800. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 24%. Estimation of profit for each employee of the company in comparison with the indicators of companies in the subcategory. Tolerable, 0 points. The share of revenue per company employee is $532,000. By subcategory $771,000. The difference between the subcategory average and the company's performance is 45%. Estimation of revenue for each company employee in comparison with indicators in the subcategory. Tolerable, 0 points. The volume of sales transactions is 1.1%, with an average for the subcategory of 1.7%. This is an assessment of a possible short squeeze. Technical indicator RSI, 14, shows the 50% level for the company Wells Fargo and Company. In the subcategory, this level is approximately 50%. On average, shares of the subcategory are quoted approximately the same as shares Wells Fargo and Company, WFC. Comparing the dynamics of the company's share price Wells Fargo and Company, WFC, and subcategory shares. We will see that over 12 months the company's shares Wells Fargo and Company showed a change of 50.5%. Against the price dynamics for the subcategory 28.6%. This does not say anything clearly, but it is necessary to take note of this fact. Before announcing the total score, please write your rating Wells Fargo and Company in the comments to this review. The overall result is as follows: -0.5 out of 10 points. Average score for the subcategory, 1.5 points. If you look very broadly, within the entire market in total, you can see that the average score for the entire stock market in the aggregate is 0.4 points. Against the score of -0.5 points Wells Fargo and Company, WFC. Let's look at the table of orders, which is available to everyone. The link is in the pinned comment. The order table contains all decisions made by the stock pricing information system GURU.Markets. Access to the order table is absolutely free and open. Link in pinned comment. As a result of the analysis of the company's shares Wells Fargo and Company, Information and Reference Assessment System GURU.Markets. The decision was made. Do not open a deal due to Wells Fargo and Company overvalued subcategory company. Thank you all for watching this video and for using the information system from GURU.Markets. You are all the coolest crowd.